I'm gonna take a seat. Can I sit here? Good dogs. What's going on, YouTube? My name's Max. These are my two dogs, Goose and Maverick, and this is my current board and train, Emmy. And today we're going to be talking to you about when, why, and how you can teach the place command. So if you're interested in those things, stick around and we'll cover them all in this video. Now, if you have a dog, I'm going to assume that you know the sensation of running around your kitchen, trying to get some chores done, cooking some food, and your dogs just will not leave you alone. They're constantly under your feet. You keep tripping over them. It's not very fun, right? That's a great time for the place command. My dogs are going to stay in their place. I can get up. I can put stuff into the dishwasher. I can wash dishes. I can get things done. I can put the mats even somewhere else. Obviously, they're right here because I need a good camera angle, but I can work with the sink and with the stove and keep my dogs in their placemat. I don't have to worry about them tripping me while I'm carrying around some hot oil or whatever it may be because they're going to be in their place. A great time to use the place command is while you're doing some chores around the house where you just can't have your dogs around you. Maybe you're working with something that might be dangerous for them, but you don't necessarily want to put them in their crate. Place command. But there are other good times to use the place command as well. The place command is not just meant for inside, though. That's one of the beauties of these placemats. You can take them everywhere with you. If you decide to go to a campground, take the placemat with you. If you decide that you are going to go outside and have a fire, I'm currently burning some boxes, some cardboard outside. Bring the placemats with you. I don't need my dogs running around bumping into me when I'm working on the fire. Bring your placemats with you everywhere, indoors, outdoors, wherever you want to take them. That's the beauty of the placemat. Maybe it's just time to sit down for a good book and the dogs are being a little bit too rowdy, which leads me to the why of the place command. And one of the main reasons that I use the place command is because my dogs can get crazy. I'm sure some of you can relate. If grandma's coming over, my dogs don't need to be jumping all over her or each other for that matter. So the place command is a great remedy to that, right? We don't need to shove our dogs in the crate. The dogs can still be out. Grandma can still pet the dogs, but they don't need to be running around and jumping around and going berserk. So we put them into place. It's a great way to calm your dogs down with one simple command, but to still be able to be out and to interact with them. Maybe there's something I just don't want them getting into. Now, in this instance, it's my food, but what if it were something that might be dangerous to them? I have cleaning supplies out because I'm cleaning the floors, whatever it may be. If there's something that I don't want them getting into, the place command is perfect. I put them in their place. I don't have to worry about them getting off their plate to grab my food. I can get up. I can go into the kitchen and grab myself a soda, whatever it may be, and I don't have to worry about my whole plate of food being gone when I come back. Now to the meat and potatoes of the video, which is how are we going to teach our dog to goose place. So we're going to look at how are we going to teach this, okay? And I'm going to kind of go over it in steps, but also some of them are going to meld together. So bear with me, but I'm going to try to make it as easy for everybody to understand, even if you've never done any sort of training with your dog before. So the first thing that you need to do is you need to have some sort of marker with your dog. A lot of people use a clicker. That's fine. I use the word yes. So you're going to teach your dog a marker word. If you want to see how to do that, leave it in the comments. So yes, good boy. Yes, good boy. That kind of marker word. The second thing you're going to have to be able to do is a lure. So it's going to look something like this. Your dog is you're going to take a piece of kibble or a treat, and you're going to have your dog follow it around, okay? Even when they're standing up, like this, right? You can do a circle maybe. We'll see. Yes, good boy. Just like that. So those are the first two precursors that you need to know. And then we're on to step one. We're going to reward our dog for any interest in the mat at all. So we're going to kind of try to reward our dog for even if they just put one paw on it. We're going to reward our dog. So, for example, Goose, go on. I might lure my dog to the mat, and as soon as they touch it, yes, good boy, just like that, okay? You're going to do that over and over and over again until your dog is very interested, and then eventually they're going to put all four paws on the mat. Yes, good boy, just like that, all four paws, that's great. Once your dog starts putting all four paws on the mat, you are going to try to release your dog, so whatever your release word is, I guess that's also a precursor, you need to have a release word. Ours is okay. All right, so whatever your release word is, you need to release your dog before they leave the mat. Release your dog before they leave the mat, okay? So Once your dog, you can tell your dog is standing on the mat and they're about to get off, you're going to say, okay, and let them off the mat, just like that, okay? You're going to continue to do that over and over and over again, okay, until you no longer have to lure your dog onto the mat. They're just going on it themselves, okay? Once your dog gets on the mat themselves, you're going to lure them into a down. And I'm going to show you exactly what a down lure looks like so that you don't have to be confused. A down lure is going to look something like this. Goose, come here. When your dog is standing up, you're going to take a treat. You're going to go up and back and then down and back, okay? Up and back, down and back. That's a down lure, okay? So we're going to, for one more example, come here. Up and back into a sit, down and back into a down, just like that, kind of towards their elbows, okay? Once their elbows hit the ground or their butts hits the ground if they're doing a down, that's when we are going to yes and reward for the place command, okay? So as soon as they lay down, once you get on, you're going to lure them into a down once they're on it, and as soon as they lay down, you're going to yes and reward, okay? Then you're going to release them, just like before. So something like this. Come here, bud. Yes. You see how I waited till that butt hit the ground to yes and reward? It's not a down if the butt doesn't hit the ground. It's not a down if the elbows don't hit the ground either. Then we're going to, okay, go on. Good boy. Do the same thing over and over and over again. I understand I'm only doing it once to try to make the video short for you guys. You're going to do it over and over and over and over again, okay? So we're going to do it like this. Yes, good boy, just like that. So once your dog has learned to go onto their placemat and lay down, that's when we're going to start adding in the command word, which for me is place. Some people use mat, some people use bed, whatever it may be. So right before that butt hits the ground or the elbows hit the ground, whatever your dog is doing, that's when you're going to add in that place command. So we're going to bring them on. Place. You can see he's already in the motion down. I'm adding in that command as he's going down, okay? A couple more. Place. Yes, good boy. And again. Place. Yes, good boy. Now, there's going to be two more steps. These ones you can do in either order. Once your dog is down on the place command, okay, you should be releasing him with his release word or her release word, okay? You are then going to either reward for longevity or you're going to add in the command earlier. You can do this in either order. I would prefer to add in the command earlier first. We're going to talk about rewarding for longevity first. So once your dog is down in the place command, you are going to reward in small intervals that are going to get larger and larger as you go. So as your dog lays down, every 5 to 10 seconds that he continues to lay down, you're going to give another piece of kibble. Yes, good boy. Yes, good boy. And you might say, good place. Yes, good place. And I reward from the placemat. So my treats are coming not straight to his mouth. Can't get it. Still in my hand. I'm going to set it down on the placemat. Okay, this is just to solidify that this is where they're being rewarded from. They're not being rewarded from me. They're being rewarded from the placemat. That's not exactly true, and that's not exactly what you want to follow, but the purpose is the same, yes. So that is what we're going to do. Continue to reward for longevity, and there should be more and longer intervals between the time that you're rewarding for, okay? If your dog decides to get up before you allow them to get up, you might tisk them. You might give them a little bit of spatial pressure to put them back into the placemat. Now, I'm going to release Goose from his place and then show you what that's going to look like. I wouldn't recommend releasing your dogs and then going back on that release, but for sake of educational purposes, I'm going to. So it might look a little bit like this if your dog decides to get up before it's time to get up. Okay, just like that. I'm just giving him spatial pressure, not angry at him. Might make him a little bit uncomfortable. And if you're using a different command for sort of a reprimand word, that's fine. If you're using that, I prefer tisking. But either way, that's totally fine. Okay, Goose, go on. Good boy. So then what we're going to do is we're going to add in that command earlier and earlier, okay? So maybe as your dog starts to go onto the mat, you might say place. And then they're going to lay down and you're going to yes and reward, okay? And then you can reward for longevity, whatever you're doing, okay? And then you're going to start adding in the command before they even get onto the mat. So when they're over here, place. This is not okay. This is not what your dog should be doing, and Goose shouldn't be doing it either. Place. Yes, good boy. Or I guess bad dog. Go on. Go on over there. Then we're going to try to start adding it in from a distance. Place. Yes, good boy. And like I said before, we don't yes and reward until they are fully in a down. So that's kind of the steps to teach a place command. You're going to have to continue to do this over and over in order to solidify it. Once you get it to the point where you can tell them to get on their placemat from far away, they'll go to their placemat and they'll stay there until you tell them that they can get up. That's when you know that your place command is solid. Then you can start moving your placemat around. Then you can start taking it outside and trying the place command outside. And when you do that, when you decide to start moving your placemat around and moving your place command around, you might have to take a couple steps back. Your dog might get stupid when the placemat moves outside. That's how dogs' brains work, okay? Take a couple steps back. It's not a big deal. Solidify that this placemat, no matter where it is, when I say place, this is where you're supposed to go, okay? If you need to stand next to it and point at it, that's okay. That happens. If you need to come and sit next to it when you're outside, that's totally okay. Take a couple steps back if you need to. Continue to solidify that place command. If you have any questions about other commands, leave them in the comments. I'll try to go over those just as thoroughly as I did the place command. If you have any suggestions, leave those in the comments too. And don't forget to like and subscribe. But for today, that's about it. Happy training.